Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Ali and this here is Fidget, and you might also see Mirror in this video as well. In today's video I'm going to be talking about ringworm. Now, just a little disclaimer, I'm not a vet, I'm just a lady that's owned a lot of chinchillas for a long time. So I have a little bit of experience. So what is ringworm? Ringworm isn't a worm, it's actually a fungal infection. And the spores of ringworm can come in a variety of ways into your property. They can come in on the hay you give your chinchilla, they can come in within the bedding you give your chinchilla, they can come in with the wood that you give your chinchilla. However, it only really causes a problem when it is allowed to grow rapidly. And for it to grow rapidly, it has to have the right conditions. What can cause ringworm to be an issue? If the environment you have your chinchilla in is too warm, this can cause ringworm to grow exponentially, and the perfect conditions for it to really start to cause a problem on your chinchilla. If your environment is too damp or humid, this can cause an issue with your chinchilla as well, because it can cause ringworm to grow out of control. If there isn't enough airflow in the room you keep your chinchilla in, if the air is stale and stagnant and it's the right conditions for ringworm to develop, then you're going to have an issue. Now, ventilation is really important. So people suffer with ringworm when they have their chinchillas in sheds and outbuildings because the airflow might not be that adequate or good. So yeah, keeping the air moving is a good way to kind of reduce the risk of getting ringworm. Okay, so what are the symptoms of ringworm? Hair loss, big one is hair loss. Now you might find that you start to see the bald patches, and it normally starts on the nose or around the eyes, and occasionally on the base of the tail is where it normally begins, but it can begin anywhere, but that's where it normally starts, around the nose and eye area and the tail area. Yeah, so you'll start to see hair loss and a bald patch. Next symptom is dry, flaky, scabby skin. Chinchilla may have the appearance that it's got dandruff in its fur. That is from the dead skin coming off from where the infection's taken hold. How do you sort it out? First of all, most important, wear gloves. Really important. Ringworm is highly infectious, and it can be passed to humans extremely easily. It's incredibly infectious. So it's really important that if you think your chinchilla has ringworm, wear gloves at all times when handling them, when cleaning the cage. Next, take out all the wood of the cage. Once you've got ringworm, it sits on the wood. It can be really difficult to get it off the wood. So most people say take the wood out and just get rid of it, just discard it. And don't replace the wood until the ringworm has been eradicated in your cage and on your chinchilla, because once you put wood back in, if the chinchilla is still infected, you're going to have problems again because you're not going to be able to get rid of the spores. So next, clean the cage. So take out all the bedding, clean all that, clean the cage. I normally use an animal safe disinfectant. I actually use F10 disinfectant, which is really good, and you can get it in wipe form as well, which is a lot easier. Just give the cage a thorough clean. Take out all the bedding, take out all the toys, any like fleece hammocks or fleece bedding, wash it on a really high temperature, and then make sure the cage is clean. Next, to treat the chinchilla, I normally sprinkle athlete's foot powder into their sand baths and give them sand baths daily with the athlete's foot powder in it. This allows, athlete's foot powder actually kills the fungus, so if they roll around in it, then it should get into their skin and then hopefully start to do its job. Now I do this every day, and every day I go in and change the bedding as well. And after about a week, you should start to see new hair growth on the bald spots. It won't be completely gone by that point, but you'll start to see new hair growing through, which is a sign that it's actually, the ringworm is now under control. Continue the treatment until the fur is pretty much growing back at a decent rate and you can't see any more bald patches, you can't see any more flaky skin. Once the chinchilla starts to recover, then you can start to think about putting wood back into your cage and toys back into your cage, but it's really important that you sort out the underlying issue of what caused the ringworm to grow rapidly in the first place. So look at your environment, just see, is there something that needs tweaking? Is it too warm? Is it too humid? Is the airflow not quite right in the room? Has the chinchilla got underlying health issues? Now, if you do all the things that I've suggested and the problem seems to be getting worse rather than better, or it's not improving, go to your vet. Your vet will be able to take a sample of the skin and look at it under a microscope and actually see what exactly is causing the issue, because in some cases it might not be ringworm, but it might be the fact that your chinchilla's got ringworm and its immune system is compromised and just can't shift it, in which case they'll give you something stronger to use on it. So yeah, so if it doesn't cure that way, see a vet, but normally this works. But if there's underlying issues or if there's something else going on, then you'll need to see a vet about that. As well, I'd say if you do get ringworm, don't beat yourself up about it too much, because you know, owning any pet is a learning curve, and not everything you do will be right straight away. So yeah, don't think yourself as a bad pet owner if you get ringworm. It's just one of those things that can happen. As long as you treat it and you sort out what is going wrong, and if there's nothing wrong in the environment that you've got the chinchilla in, maybe look into a health check with the chinchilla with the vet, just to make sure there's nothing else going on there. But that's it. So I hope you find this video informative. Thank you for watching. Sorry if I ramble a bit, but thank you and goodbye.